Today is February 25th, 2021. I'm your host, Dread, and this is Today in Crypto, where we go over all the craziness that happened on a daily basis in the crypto markets and a little bit beyond. Today was very much Coinbase centric. The Coinbase was everywhere. Coinbase news was all over the map. We had Coinbase going public. Coinbase are going to be listed on the Nasdaq, IPO. Coinbase's financials are now public ahead of stock market listing. Crypto exchange's S1 form is now live, revealing key details before Coinbase stock hits the market. So Coinbase going public. Very, very big news. Very interesting for a crypto company like Coinbase going public. And the IPO, I'm pretty sure it was a really hefty valuation. I don't have the figure off the top of my head, but it was a very hefty valuation. But Coinbase, we had the news of it going public. We also had so they had to make some of their financial statements public, and we got a nice little update summary here from Larry Cermak on Twitter. $3.4 billion in total revenue until 2020, largely from transaction fees, 96% of net revenue. I mean, Coinbase fees are ridiculous. They can be brutal sometimes, so I'm not surprised that it largely makes up their net revenue. Net income of $322.3 million in 2020, net loss of $30.4 million in 2019, 43 million verified users and 2.8 monthly transacting users. And we got another big breakdown here, 2019 and 2020, of all of their revenue and expenses and all of that jazz. But it's good to see all of this coming public. We also saw that 13,000 Bitcoin flowed out from Coinbase just a few hours ago. This was obviously earlier. It seems that Bitcoin went to multiple Coinbase custody wallets. US institutional investors are still buying Bitcoin at the 48k price. So this is very bullish. Excuse me. This is very bullish. So these Bitcoin essentially off the market now. And we can see it here that at 48k a pop, 13,000 Bitcoin being taken out of circulation, essentially moved into cold wallet, taken out of Coinbase. Very bullish signal. And yeah, it kind of ties in with this. This is what's interesting to me. I saw this graph earlier. And again, Larry Cermak should follow him. I should follow him. Let's follow him right now. Why not? Coinbase dropped some great customer segment data today in the S1. If this chart doesn't make you bullish, then you are a lost cause. And HFSP, I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm not cool like the kids. Volume top in Q1 2018 was 80% retail investors. The volume at the top in Q4 2020 was only 36% retail. And we can see it here. So the revenues was, Q4 2020 was the largest revenues in Coinbase, for Coinbase in that quarter. We had 80% retail investors at the top. And obviously we know what happened after that. We had a big drawdown. Retail kind of got burnt. They came in too late. They got dumped on by all of the savvy investors that got in early on Bitcoin. But as we see, a lot of people are getting caught away with the mania at the moment and thinking, are we hitting a top on Bitcoin? Yeah, I know a lot of my friends are getting worried, saying we should be exiting the markets and all of that. But there's only 36% of retail that are invested in Bitcoin right now. And when you see companies like, Tesla and MicroStrategy and Square and Greyscale buying huge amounts of Bitcoin up at these prices, it does make you wonder, are we anywhere near the top right now? If this was like the previous cycle, from the breakout point, we had a 1,500% rise. Right now, from the breakout point of 20k, we've only had a 200% rise. So really, we're not moving as hard as the previous cycle. So 36% of retail makes me think that we're nowhere near the top right now. We haven't seen that retail FOMO. We haven't seen the craziness that came in 2017, 2018 at the end. So institutions are very much loading up right now on Bitcoin. We can see it publicly, but it's probably a lot behind the scenes that we just don't see. And this is kind of a good indication. This graph here gives us a little insight into Coinbase, and I would imagine this is happening elsewhere, but only 36% of retail. So maybe that bodes well for Bitcoin over the course of this year. Have we yet seen the FOMO? Maybe not. And here, Caitlin Long, another great personality championing Bitcoin and crypto. A nice tip to Satoshi in Coinbase's S1. Satoshi Nakamoto, nice little mention there. And yeah, a big day. Coinbase, you can, I have my thoughts about Coinbase. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but to see them go public, it's a big moment for the space in general. Another interesting bit of news, Greyscale buys Ethereum dip as ETH drops below $1,600. The crypto asset manager purchased 15,521 Ethereum in the last 24 hours. So Greyscale, the world's largest digital assets manager, purchased nearly $25 million worth of Ethereum in a single day after the price ETH dropped below $1,600. ETH has dipped nearly 20% in the last 5 days. So very much taking advantage of the recent dip we had on the market with Bitcoin and Ethereum and just everyone in the market taking a bit of a hit. But Greyscale very much loading up their bags, and this is a good indication, I think, to buy as much as $25 million worth of Ethereum at those prices. I think these institutions and Greyscale, they know where this is heading, and I don't think the top is anywhere near in. I think they wouldn't be doing this. They're very smart investors, so it's good to see. Buying a lot of Bitcoin, buying a lot of Ethereum at the moment. Greyscale. Elon Musk is in hot water with the SEC again. Elon Musk rumored to be under SEC investigation over Dogecoin tweets, which is, if you don't know about Elon, he has been tweeting about Dogecoin quite a lot. Shall we have a look? So stuff like this. Doge is the new Bitcoin. Doge is incredible. Stuff from Elon. Had Bitcoin in his bio for a little while, but also championing Dogecoin. And it looks like harmless fun, but when you're the richest man in the world, or was the richest man in the world, attention, obviously, the light gets shine on you a bit brighter. And yeah, to me, it's harmless fun, in my opinion. But he's going to have to answer some questions to the SEC. The US Securities and Exchange Commission is reportedly investigating Tesla CEO Elon Musk's tweet about a joke cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Joke, how dare you, according to media reports that cite sources familiar with the matter. So this could be bullshit, to be honest. I hate it when they do sources familiar with the matter. It could just be the bloody editor writing it out. As reported by You Today, never heard of him, Musk's frequent tweets about the meme coin have had great impact on its price action. The entrepreneur also went after Dogecoin whales, promising to pay them for abandoning the cryptocurrency. So Elon Musk, look, the guy is rich. He doesn't know what to do with his money. Looks like he's just having some fun. And look, Elon Musk is probably going to save humanity. So maybe we could let him off with talking about cryptocurrency about a dog. So another little interesting story that happened today was to do with SIX Digital Exchange. And we talked about SIX Digital Exchange a couple of days ago on the first episode of Today in Crypto. And SIX posted a tweet today for their Thought Transformation series. And this was the tweet. To become architects of the future, we must first acknowledge that we are playing a fundamentally different competitive game with new rules compared to the one we played in the past. And there was a little link. And then there were some hashtags and cash tags. And you can see here, they mentioned Quant. Now, we said that Quant and SDX, or SIX, were most likely working together. Well, this seems interesting. You will not be able to put anything on the internet without the Quant community finding it. If you post it, if it's up for more than 2 seconds, the Quant community will find it and it will forever be immortalized, okay? So this tweet went up, this tweet was deleted and taken down, but the Quant community found it, Quant community saved it, it is now in our locker, it's now in our vault, but SIX tweeting about Quant by mistake. But here we go. I spoke about it a little bit here. But why SIX is interesting. We spoke about it on that last episode. So SIX are working with a lot of companies. They're working with central banks and they run financial infrastructure. So just to give you a little idea of how big they are, To help understand the scale of Six Digital Exchange, take a look at Project Helvetia, a proof of concept between the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, the Swiss National Bank, the SNB, and Six Group themselves on settling tokenized assets in central bank money using distributed ledger technology. Now I'm going to put that video and insert it here.
The Swiss National Bank, the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub, and SIX have joined forces as part of Project Helvetia to investigate how central bank money could be integrated into a distributed ledger technology-based financial market infrastructure. The project consists of two proof of concepts. Both test the functional feasibility of settling tokenized assets, which are traded and settled on the Six Digital Exchange in central bank money. In proof of concept number 1, the cash leg of the transaction is settled with a wholesale central bank digital currency, wholesale CBDC, issued directly onto the DLT infrastructure of SDX by the Swiss National Bank. As part of proof of concept number 1, 4 use cases were investigated: issuance or tokenization of wholesale CBDC, redemption or detokenization of wholesale CBDC, delivery versus payment settlement of tokenized assets against wholesale CBDC, and transfer of wholesale CBDC or wholesale CBDC payment. In proof of concept number 2, interoperability between the DLT infrastructure of SDX and the Swiss RTGS system SIC is established, and the cash leg of the transaction is settled in SIC balances. As part of proof of concept number 2, 1 use case was investigated: delivery versus payment settlement of tokenized assets against SIC balances.
So Six is a company that probably a lot of people haven't really heard of in the crypto space, but they are a huge deal. And as we can see here, they run the payment rails and the infrastructure for the Swiss Stock Exchange, the Spanish Stock Exchange, the BME, and banking services, financial infrastructure, all of that jazz. But they are a big deal. And there was another little video that I wanted to show you guys because it explains it better than I ever could. I fumble my words, I'm not very articulate. But here we go, I'm going to insert that right here as well.
You know, Six has come together from multiple organizations in Switzerland that were all different. There was a stock exchange, there was a financial information business, there was the CSD, and they came together under Six. I think it was 12 years ago, if my history serves me correct.
Right.
And that's basically running the entire market infrastructure in Switzerland, including the payment rails that we operate on behalf of the Swiss National Bank, which ends up coming back into our story. So it's actually quite a meaningful company, but it was very domestically Swiss focused. You would tend to have thought of it as the Swiss Stock Exchange. You know, everybody knows SWX or SSX, depending on which way you look at it. But
right.
You know, we all know that there's the SMI index and all that stuff. You know, you look at your Bloomberg screen in the morning and you've got the SMI index on there. When you do WEF, for all you Bloomberg users out there. Now, the big change that's happened recently, which is worth mentioning, is just as we go through stories, we've acquired the BME, so we now own the Spanish infrastructure. So we're not just a domestic Swiss player; we're a top 2-3 European FMI based, depending on which way you look at what metric you use. So we're a real kind of up there in the top 10 of FMIs globally, which is pretty significant.
So that should give you a little insight into Six and why this specific tweet is a big deal. Because Six and Quant, like I said before in another video, Gilbert has been meeting with the team quite a few times and they've been going back and forth. And we knew in our inner circles that this was most likely a reality. And Six Digital Exchange are most likely using Overledger. Now, we don't have official confirmation, but stuff like this goes a long way to confirming what we believe. So we should be keeping an eye on this a bit more, but I would not be surprised if at some point in the future we see an official announcement regarding Six Group, the SDX, and Quant. And that would be huge. It would be huge. It was SIA, Oracle, Six, and then whoever else comes out this year. It'll be pretty amazing. So another little bit of news we had was with Quant introducing their brand new chief marketing officer, Naid. I don't know how you say her name. I'm sorry, whatever your name is. Naiad. That's what we're going with. Naiad Angel at Quant. So very pleased to have her on board. And this is what Naiad, if I'm wrong, I apologize. That is how I am reading your name. Naiad. We live at a critical point where the internet is going through its next phase of evolution. Businesses and society at large are demanding a far more secure, distributed internet. And I'm thrilled and humbled to be part of the visionary team at Quant who are creating the digital what's next. So great to have her aboard, Chief Marketing Officer, Naiad Angel. And yeah, the Quant community very, very much giving her a very warm welcome. And, you know, whoever joins the Quant team, they're automatically embraced with open arms. So it's great to see Naiad joining the team, and hopefully she can make a big difference with the marketing. And yeah, very cool. A lot of women working at Quant, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. They did a video recently where a lot of the team was talking about Quant, and there was a lot of women present. So that's good to see as well, representing. And hopefully Naiad can make a big difference. And last but not least, I wanted to end on this. The altcoins market cap from Pastore1314, showing us a chart of the total altcoin market cap. I have no words if you are bearish here. And it's interesting to take a look. Again, sentiment at the moment is that some people are getting very scared and thinking, are we done? But when you look at this chart, it's very hard to be bearish. So we had the breakout here of the previous altcoin top in 2018, mid-2018. Now we had a huge, I don't know if you can call this a cup and handle, but we had a huge dip here. This was obviously a bearish period, but we've had a breakout on the altcoin market cap. And the interesting thing is not only we had a breakout, but we fully retested it. Now what normally happens here is that you have a breakout, you retest. If you retest successfully, then you move on higher. Now, are we about to see another move up with altcoins? It looks very likely by this chart. I'm not saying it definitely will, but by this chart, this is very bullish. So if we have a breakout here of 750 billion, I think that is, we're most likely going to see alts run, and that would be fantastic. As someone who is very much in alts, this would be huge, and I know a lot of people watching this are in alts as well. So pretty cool. Keep an eye on it. If we break down, obviously everything's gone wrong, but very, very bullish in my opinion. And that's it. That's all we have today. It was very much Coinbase focused, was a bit all over the place. And yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another video. We'll catch up on all the latest news. But until then, have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.